watching ID Mind Media, Radio and Television with your humble host, Comrade Fritz Misodi. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the follow button. Where you're watching from Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and make sure you search on my name, Fritz Misodi. You see most of my channels around the social media. Please make sure you hit. Today we're going to be talking about roads, the poor leadership of the Yaoundé regime that has been a terrible devastation to our economy, our people, our way of life, and everything. That's what we'll be discussing today. Stay tuned while we come back, and make sure you share. Don't forget to share. Okay? Thank you. So we'll come back after this interlude.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Peuple camerounais, Bien, même si c'est une malédiction qui est tombée sur le peuple camerounais aujourd'hui là, qui peut aller prendre sa carte de vote pour aller voter Paul Biya? Qui peut faire ça?
Paul Biya. Aujourd'hui aussi, c'est oh yeah. Paul Biya. Oh yeah. Paul Biya. Vive l'amitié entre la République populaire de Chine et le Cameroun. Vive son Excellence Paul Biya.
Il avance, il passe où? Il s'envole.
Merci, Monsieur le Président. Oh, des garçons qui traversent. Oh, c'est terrible. Oh, le nom m'a condé. Oh, mon pauvre arrondissement. Nous t'aimerons toujours. Nous m'accordons. Coûte que vaille. Coûte que vaille. Merci, Monsieur le Président. When I saw this communique from Agbobala, I said, why? Agbobala has been one of those people who we know has passed through the thorns and pains of this large public government, and we expected much from him. But we understand when you are in the lion's den, you know how you do it. Okay? Because the lion is even as friendly as you can with a lion, when the time comes, it might not be your friend. Okay, the lion man might not be your friend anymore. Okay, but from Agbobala's statement, we are seeing the suffering of the people of Southern Cameroon, and it continues. Okay, for the past 9 years that the crisis has been ongoing, people might think, okay, maybe there might be change. Okay, but if you look at the state of the situation, things have not changed. Agbobala has been living in Cameroon and living in Southern Cameroon, so he understands. He's seeing the daily suffering of the people. This is what let me read what he said. He said, there is nothing as bad as being a common man in Cameroon. You don't have a right. Anything can happen to you at any time. Firstly, they have rendered the people poor, and the gendarmes, police, and army are doubling the suffering. Take a small distance from Mutengene or Limbe to Buea. You battle with bad roads, and the gendarmes and police are not letting you rest. I don't know if it's state-sponsored racketeering that they are doing to the people. That's Agbobala saying. From Limbe to Buea, or any short distance within Southern Cameroon, it's terrible. But that's the situation. How do you survive in this kind of environment? How? Where the people are suffering, the gendarmerie, the police, the army are taking their own part in increasing that suffering, and nobody speaks, nobody says anything. And so, but there are people who are on their own say no, peace, and this and that. How do you have a country without justice and say there should be peace? There cannot be peace for anybody who does not want peace to reign or peace of mind of people. The government of Cameroon has made the Southern Cameroonians understand that they don't belong there. They don't belong there, and the situation is getting worse every day. Think of it. That is it. They have rendered our people poor intentionally. And that is the situation that we face now. That's the situation. But for how long? For how long did our people stay like this? For how long? Think of it. I understand some people will say, okay, yeah, oh, let's not divide, let's not do this, let's not do this. But the situation at hand, how do you see the situation at hand now? What justification can you give if you think that, oh, things are okay, right? What justification can you give now to say yes, things are okay? What? I don't understand. Maybe you have a better something to say, but nobody can say more than what we are saying now, right? Nobody. I have a talking point. I'll be coming with that talking point after this short interlude. Okay, make sure you share. Make sure you share and subscribe to the channel. Okay. My talking point will be more on the system that we have. Okay, will be on the system that has engulfed the people of Southern Cameroon. Okay, let me go through so that we can understand. Okay. Yeah. My talking point, I'm gonna talk about this. Okay. Perfect. In any modern society, roads are more than just infrastructure. They are a reflection of leadership, vision, and the social contract between a government and its people. Roads connect farmers to the markets, workers to jobs, patients to hospitals, and students to schools. They are the veins of an economy. In Southern Cameroon, Ambazonia, specifically Buea and the political capital of Ambazonia, and Bamenda is economic capital, roads have become symbols of decay, abandonment, and betrayal. For over 4 decades, Paul Biya's government has claimed to rule Cameroon, yet the very backbone of development in Southern Cameroon has collapsed under his watch. What should have been thriving hubs of commerce are now crippled cities where residents must pray before setting out to work, uncertain if they will return home safely. The potholes are so deep they look like craters from a forgotten war, while traffic jams and seasonal floods make simple commutes unbearable. Garbage piles along broken roads only worsen the misery, creating an environment of health hazard and indignity. This is not just about poor roads, it is about failed leadership, misplaced priorities, and a government that has treated Southern Cameroon as a conquered territory rather than a partner in development. Bamenda, the beating economic heart of Ambazonia, tells a tragic story. Every corner of the city is marked by potholes so large that they damage cars daily, slow traffic to a crawl, and turn short trips into hours of frustration. Businesses suffer heavy losses as goods take longer to transport. Fuel costs rise and vehicles require constant repairs. In a city with massive economic potentials, the lack of investment in infrastructure is not only a failure of governance but a deliberate economic suffocation. Buea, the administrative capital, fares no better. Despite being branded as a town of legendary hospitality, its roads are a nightmare. The famous Mile 17, a critical transport hub, floods with each heavy rain, leaving vehicles stranded for hours. Key road projects promised by the government remain perpetually under construction, a euphemism for corruption, mismanagement, and endless excuses. For decades, the people of Buea and Bamenda have watched ribbon-cutting ceremonies for road projects that never see completion. Instead of progress, they receive speeches, empty promises, and propaganda from a regime more concerned with clinging to power than delivering basic infrastructure. The collapse of roads in Southern Cameroon and other infrastructure is not just due to lack of resources. Cameroon has been blessed with oil, timber, just like Southern Cameroon has been blessed with oil, timber, coffee, cocoa, and other natural wealth. Yet billions of francs are siphoned off through corruption in Yaoundé, while Southern Cameroon is left with wreckage. The problem is not incompetence but deliberate neglect. For Paul Biya's regime, Ambazonia is a land of exploit, not to develop. Contracts for road construction are handed to cronies who pocket funds without completing the projects. Local officials enrich themselves while ordinary citizens face daily suffering on dangerous roads. The decay reflects on a larger political reality. Biya's government Bia's governance is not about service but survival. For over 40 years, he has turned Cameroon into a personal estate, centralizing all decisions in Yaoundé while ignoring the peripheries. His ministers and parliamentarians travel by air or in convoy that shield them from the misery of the ordinary citizens. Many Cameroonians ask a haunting question: do these politicians not pass through the same roads? The truth is, most of them don't. Their isolation from the reality of daily life explain why they can contribute to claim stability while the nation's infrastructure collapses. The human cost, frustration, and poverty and the lost potential has cost many lives. The human cost of these bad roads in Cameroon is immeasurable. Farmers cannot get their produce to markets in time, leading to post-harvest losses and reduced income. Transport fares rise as drivers spend more on repairs and fuel, making it difficult for workers and students to move around. Patients die on their way to hospitals because ambulances are stuck in traffic or trapped in mud. Businesses are forced to shut down or relocate because of the unbearable delays and cost of logistics. This is economic sabotage disguised as governance. Southern Cameroon is a blessed land, rich in natural and talent, yet it has been reduced to misery because of the deliberate neglect. Roads that have been spurred growth and connected communities have instead become traps of frustration. What was once the pride of West Africa has been turned into an obstacle course where citizens measure progress not in kilometers, rather, but in hours wasted. Decades from now, Cameroonians will look back at Paul Bia's legacy not as one of nation building, but of destruction of opportunities wasted, infrastructures abandoned, and a people condemned to endless suffering. Paul Biya has often been celebrated as Africa's oldest ruler, but longevity is not leadership. His insistence on clinging to power has crippled Cameroon and Southern Cameroon combined, leaving behind a trail of poverty, broken systems, and ruined infrastructure. The state of Southern Cameroon's roads is perhaps the clearest evidence of this failure. Over 40 years in power, and the economic capitals of Amazonia remain inaccessible, dangerous, and shameful example of mismanagement. And yet, amidst the frustration, there is resilience. The people of Southern Cameroon continue to pray, walk, and push forward despite the odds. And many believe that change will come from Paul Biya and his palace. But from the courage of citizens who refuse to accept this decay and destiny. Until then, the roads of Bamenda and Buea will stand as monuments of betrayal, a reminder that when leadership fails, a nation suffers. God will indeed do something, but Cameroonians and Southern Cameroonians too must act, for no dictator remains in power forever. Okay? Thank you for this wonderful. I made this for the people of Southern Cameroon to understand. Now, take a look, okay?
Normalement, ils vont envoyer les câbles. L'eau est déjà pleine dans la pick-up man. Heureusement que c'est des très bonnes voitures. Le filtre à air qui est en haut là-bas. Si c'était comme les gens de Bounou là, on trouverait le filtre est en bas là. Si que le moteur est bon.
C'est pas éteint ce présent.
Non, tends d'abord. Il faut tendre d'abord la corde. Tends d'abord.
Avance un peu. Voilà.
Since the morning that we come out from 10 o'clock, at 4 o'clock you see there already reach Omato, and I body that's Omato. Now see what Omato. You want to talk about this side? You can't idea above.
Il avance, il passe où? Il s'envole.
Les gars qui sont toujours petits. Si ça pour que nous les attendre.
Ah!
I'm telling you this one. They just come over to a sea wall. They just come over fix the road. And that the driver they do na maths. You understand? That man of one day they calculate the angle of elevation. Say it does now. Okay, that man does stand for the now. So it don't confuse. It's the code on bounce. It's a for you. Yeah. Wait no. Oh, sure not the one this one.
I feel very sorry seeing this. You know, it's a pity. You know, because some people would think that it's just happening, but think of it. You know, see how the people of Southern Cameroon are suffering. Poor roads, poor network, poor infrastructure, poor everything. But why are our people suffering like this? I want to give some 5 points to tell you how deliberate this marginalization has impacted our people in Southern Cameroon, so that you should understand where it comes from. Okay, this is just a deliberate political marginalization. Okay, these things don't come just by surprise. No, there's a reason why the Yaoundé regime intentionally does this. Okay, number one, deliberate political marginalization. Okay, since the unification in 1961, Southern Cameroon has been treated as a second-class region. So the Yaoundé sees infrastructure as a tool of political reward. Okay, they don't see infrastructure like something that the Southern Cameroonians need. Okay, so you either have to beg, fight, or struggle for it before you're offered anything. Okay, so now they intentionally make you to be a beggar when you have the resources, you have the know-how to do it by yourself, but the government has been centralized so that the people of Cameroon, of Southern Cameroon, cannot do anything for themselves. Okay, so imagine projects and are either abandoned midway or never started. They'll go and do what we call the inauguration, and they abandon the product, the project. They'll put a red carpet or the red flag and everything, then they'll show the media. Okay, but why it never started? Because it's as a way of to weaken the population's morale and punish them for demanding autonomy or independence. Okay, most of the projects have been abandoned. You just saw the Sonara project, you saw the Deep project, you saw the hospital project in Bamenda, the hospital project in Buea, everything abandoned. Intentionally to punish the people of Southern Cameroon for demanding autonomy. They say, okay, we shall see. Limbe deep sea port that can bring jobs to the people. All projects that can bring jobs. Any project you do in a region is for job creation. I hear this guy called Chiroma coming to say he's gonna do that. I just laugh. He has been there with Pobia, Minister of Transport, Minister of this, Minister of Communication. You did nothing. What new can you do now at this time? Nothing. So let's not be listening to these people. Number 2, corruption and mismanagement. Remember, most road contracts are awarded in the region are eaten up by corruption. I saw Mbelamoki, a senator, was there taking a video, by a roadside, trying to show us how the road, the tar was so light. You are the senator, but you know nothing about projects in your region. Okay? So funds allocated for this project are siphoned off by these officials in Yaoundé and their local agents, leaving the project half done or completely abandoned. Okay? Instead of development, road contracts become quick money-making schemes for allied loyal to the regime with no accountability for delivery. You can get this project and it's a man no man thing. They will not hold you accountable if you steal the money. Yaoundé encourages these people. You say, chop your own, I chop my own. Okay? They don't hold people accountable. Imagine how many projects have been lost in the thin air because of mismanagement. Imagine how many. Number 3, military occupation over development. In Southern Cameroon today, the government of Cameroon has prioritized militarization instead of infrastructure. Okay, billions are spent sending troops, buying weapons, and funding security operations to crush dissent, while basic services like roads, schools, and hospitals are ignored. Development is seen as secondary to control, so bad roads remain a deliberate tool of oppression. That they prefer to put more military, give the money, fund the military, buy their weapons, and sending troops to Southern Cameroon instead of looking at how to develop this area so that it can benefit the whole of the region. Okay, think of it that way. Okay, look at it. Why the region is not developed? Because of the nature of the neglect of the land. Look at it that way. Then you understand. Eh? Number 4, the centralized governance and neglect. Cameroon government is so highly centralized that even the people of La Republic of Cameroon are complaining, because the governors are appointed, the SDOs are appointed, all these were appointed. So how do you break through? Decision making and resource allocation in Yaoundé comes from Yaoundé. Everything comes from Yaoundé. This means regions far from the capital, especially Southern Cameroon, are often neglected. Projects that will normally be managed locally are delayed. Okay, they are delayed and or abandoned because they demand on approval, funding, and oversight from distant central authorities who have little interest in Southern Cameroon's progress. When they allocate these projects, they don't care. They most often they don't even know what is going on. And imagine a minister, or I remember this one, the minister of who came to Southern Cameroon. Okay, is it national security? Mbaraga Ngele. He's the one in charge of police. When he drove from Yaoundé to Mutengene. He went back and said, mes amis, comment vous faites comme ça? Moi, je crois que la route là était faite. That is, according to he thought that all those areas have been fixed, that maybe there are good roads. Because these ministers don't leave Yaoundé. If they want to leave Yaoundé, it's only when they are sick. They go abroad for their weekends and do their thing. They don't care about regions. Election, they're talking about election. What kind of election are you having? Well, you are not even seeing your president. You are not even seeing them, but then they want to come and hold election in Southern Cameroon. That would be really tough, but they know the consequence of holding election in Cameroon, in Southern Cameroon, when the people are very mad at what is going on. Yes, the people are very mad at what is going on. Okay, with the highly centralized things, they want to come and hold. The last point is the punitive strategy against the separatist aspiration. They are using all this thing with with the rise of the Ambazonian independent movement. So the government of Cameroon has further weaponized neglect. Okay, roads, bridges, and public infrastructure are intentionally left to rot as a way of punishing the population for sympathizing with separatists, okay, or Southern Cameroon Ambazonian independent movement. The belief in Yaoundé is that investment in road will only serve the enemy. So instead of building, the regime allowed decay as a political weapon. Okay, so this is something that is intentional. It's not like something that they think that can help. Okay, but that is how the government is, and the people of Yaoundé cannot even see this coming. They prefer to eat that crumbs, and they'll give them bread and banana. This is what they are giving them. They are giving the bread to eat. Sardine, bread, and small juice to drink. I'll end this show by this comment. The killing is a distraction to solutions of the Anglophone grievances. Stop the killings. Thank you for watching. Make sure you share. Make sure you share and hit that subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button and make sure we'll watch and see the next time. Thank you for watching. God bless you. God bless the people of Southern Cameroon.
Bamenda.